Hey guys.
Okay, join me this week as I ramble about different things. Um, Originally I had planned to talk about just about Wynonna Earp season 4. They released the first half of the season. This time it's gonna be shorter, so only 12 episodes. And due to Corona, they had to also stop filming for some time. They now have begun with filming the second half of the season. Honestly, I really dig it. Those first 6 episodes had its own arc. It felt much fresher, much more creative, and more energized than season 3, which I felt was rather lackluster. So, and I think because they only had 6 episodes to create an arc, the story pacing was in some areas rushed, but overall it was beneficial to the story that I wanted to tell. Now there's some stuff that really grinds my gears, In a 6th episode, there's this family feud with the Clintons, and Doc Holliday is so close to create peace all over around, and Wynonna just shoots him, and I felt not even a duel or whatever, she shoots this guy in the back, which I thought was way too extreme and not fitting, because Doc had just worked it all out, so they wouldn't, the Earps and Clintons wouldn't attack each other anymore. I guess the family feud is over like that too, because she shot him in the back, so there are no more Clintons. But still, I don't think it was even a morally grey decision by main character Wynonna. It was just really evil, Another thing, a thing that I liked in the season is that they referenced Alice a lot, and I've seen a photo by Melanie Scrofano, who plays Wynonna. She posted something on her Instagram with Tim, and on the photo you can see her with Tim Rosen, who plays Doc Holliday, sitting in a car, and there's a baby puppet in the back with the tag Alice on it. So what I'm thinking is that perhaps Alice will show up in the next season, in the or later half of the season. Yeah, fun it. So what I'm thinking is that she shows up in the latter half of the season, and I think it's good. Alice kind of went over in the last season. She was referenced a couple of times, but I think it's important that the characters remember such thing, unlike Wynonna's elder sister, Willa, who hasn't been mentioned after the first season, which I personally find disappointing because of continuity and stuff like that. And so that's for me important that they acknowledge the fact that they have a daughter together and that she's still out there. And perhaps she could come back now because the curse was broken in season 3. And that's also another cool thing, because the curse is broken, so the revolver of Wynonna Earp, Peacemaker, just like had it out, He was like, the fuck out, I'm out, whatever. Getting him back was not easy, but she gets it back in like the 5th episode, and see her struggling with the danger of that the Clantons pose, and figuring how to handle those situations without Peacemaker was great storytelling. I think I liked it very much. Another thing that they keep kind of forgetting is that Wynonna's sister Waverly is biological wise half angel, so she has supernatural powers, and I keep forgetting that sometimes. And then they bring it back for like one episode, and then they forget it again, and that's just weird, and I don't really like that, when you forget that you have a powerful character and for whatever reason nerf him so it fits the story. You should more build around those characters' abilities, in a way that makes still for interesting television without nerfing the character. I mean, that's not an easy task, but in that way it feels not really satisfying, but whatever, I really liked so far what I've seen of season 4. I'm gonna do probably a full review on season 4 when all episodes are released, so that means I'm gonna rewatch the whole season again just to get a better opinion, because I watched Wynonna Earp now a couple of weeks ago, so I don't remember much of the plot anymore. I mean, I still remember, but only what I found are the more interesting story parts. There's also a new character introduced, she doesn't do that much, but it's a nice addition because it puts Waverly and Nicole in like a parental role, and having just that many characters live in the Earp house is kind of nice, with their own stories to tell, and that Wynonna, that Waverly, that Nicole, you've got Doc who lives sometimes there, and you got the new character. She's brought in as kind of an important character, but ultimately she doesn't really do much. But I feel like either they're gonna pull a spin-off around this new character, or she's gonna replace Wynonna in the next season or whatever, so yeah, I feel like it's a similar situation with back in the days when Alias was on television with, was it Jennifer Garner? No. Or whatever, Alias, remember? Anybody? great TV show. But in a fifth season, they brought in a new character to replace the main character. But the problem was the series was cancelled after the fifth season, so that kind of stayed unfulfilled. Anyway, then let's get over to the next topic. I've seen a couple of movies that I wanted to watch for a long time, which is Prisoners and The Girl on the Train. Now, Prisoners, I really liked it. I really liked the performances and stuff. I found it a highly interesting movie. I only have problems with the last 20 minutes because once the mystery is out, the movie tries very hard to avoid cliches and builds up this really fantastical, fantastical not in a fantasy sense, but in the sense that it builds an aura and you can't watch away, because I was literally hooked to the screen. I couldn't watch away because I was so into the story, so invested and seeing what unfolds. So the last 20 minutes just ruined the movie because it fell on cliches and it was really boring at that point, once the mystery is kind of out, because I don't think they were successful in revealing the mystery. It doesn't come directly out of nowhere, but it's just too little built up, and it jumps into a cliche point with characters doing stuff they wouldn't normally do. For example, the detective played by Jake Gyllenhaal is presented as a very observational character, who notices his surroundings and makes notes about that. Then at the ending, the character played by Hugh Jackman whistles, and for first time, and for a moment, our detective character is like, nah, was nothing, and wants to go away, which I find so stupid because it doesn't really fit in how the character was presented beforewards. And then the whistle comes again and the movie cuts to black, so we have no idea. But it was a deep dive into obsession and what characters do under extreme circumstances. And like Hugh Jackman plays a family father, his kid gets adopted, and he's so sure that there's one guy did it that he starts really heinous stuff, like he gets this kid who he thinks is the perpetrator and starts torturing him. He punches him, and then you see the face, and you kind of feel pity, but you also have the feeling that this kid knows more than he tells, and he looks so terrible that for the rest of the movie you don't see him anymore. He's always clouded in kind of like shadows or whatever, but you don't see the character anymore, and it's not like that the torture ends there, it's just that Hugh Jackman uses different methods, and that was actually really, really gruesome to see. But overall I liked it. Paul Dano plays this kid who everybody kind of assumes is the suspect who kidnapped Hugh Jackman's daughter. He gives a fantastic performance, but Hugh Jackman is also great. Gyllenhaal is great, so we have really great performances in the movie, and I really like it up to the last 20 minutes, because those are just really disappointing for me, and I don't know how far I can talk about it without going into spoilers. But now I'm gonna use the last 5 minutes of this week's rambling for talking about The Girl on the Train. Now, The Girl on the Train is based on a book by Paula Hawkins that I haven't read, but when the first trailer appeared and showed Hayley Bennett, who I'm a big fan of it, I'm a big fan of the actress. Hayley Bennett looks kind of similar to Jennifer Lawrence, but in my personal opinion, she is a much better actress than Jennifer Lawrence, but whatever. Continuing on to that, what was it? The name, the wife of John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, right? She's also in the movie, and as a kind of struggling alcoholic, who becomes obsessed with a couple that she sees daily on a porch when she watches out of the train window, and around that begins a highly interesting story that didn't disappoint me one note, because, well, performances were great, both by Emily Blunt and by Hayley Bennett. Hayley Bennett doesn't have that much screen time, but every time she's on screen, she makes the most out of it. Same with Emily Blunt, who really goes visceral into this portrayal of a struggling alcoholic who can't really trust her own memories or what she remembers, and the loss, of a partnership. It's kind of built around family and expectations and having children and stuff like that. So highly interesting. Many critics didn't really like it from the story overall, but I really enjoyed the melodrama that was unfolding before my eyes, so just because the performances by pretty much every actor in it were fucking great. Yeah, but that's gonna be it for today.
Okay, fuckity bye.